Hello, and welcome back everyone to Napoleon Total War, as of course the British, where we have previously invaded successfully Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark, which does leave only Norway left. And this is only one settlement in Norway, which is rather a shame actually. They've skimped on Scandinavia. Remember going back to Empire Total War, you could have I think all of Scandinavia, but not a bother. That does make it that much easier to conquer for us, doesn't it? So what we're going to do is going to let this army from Alexander Abercrombie heal up. We're going to use this one from John Moore on the next turn, I think, to just get rid of this minor stack over here. It's just one more unit to defend. And then once we've replenished, we can go over to take Norway, and that will be the end of Denmark. Having said that then, I don't think we're going to worry too much about the Danish trade fleet over here, simply because it's just that much easier and a bit less of an investment for us to do so. What we can do is focus our efforts really on either raiding or just slimming down the French navy. If in fact they do have one left, they do have a couple ships in Nantes over here, and I'm sure there must be some other things about, but apparently not so much so far. That's not a problem then. What we can do is make sure we do get hold of our own trade ships. We won't be able to do that this turn. We get one out. So might as well spend the money on that, and then we can be ready to take the ivory trade route over here. We should be able to get another trade agreement going. We can't, simply because no one else has access to any ports and such. Not to worry there. So our income is at 7.7 thousand because we're lacking the trade with Denmark there, but not a problem at all. We can make up for it in conquering their territory. Otherwise, on this end of the map, we are looking at going to the south of France in Bordeaux and Toulouse. Of course, we do just need to replenish some units. Of course, that will take quite some time actually in Wellesley's army. So we're going to want to go through with, of course, Michael Stowell over here. That'll probably take a couple turns to get the King's German Legion up, and that'll be absolutely fine. Looks like the enemy does have pretty much the equivalent of a full stack. It is spread out over here. Can we sabotage any of that? 50% success chance on here. Didn't work, not a problem. Tisn't the greatest army over here, either numbers wise or in terms of how elite the troops are. Neither well chevroned nor just good base troops as it is. That's probably the same across the board here. We do have Catalonia Regiment over here, but not to worry. Nothing too special. Napoleon has already returned over here, which is very interesting. It does only take one turn to recover, but I'm pretty sure we did beat him off in the last 2 turns or so, so not to worry. Bit surprising though, as I'll say. He moves quickly, doesn't waste any time at all. And as far as technology goes, we are going for field ambulance, steam engines, and of course conscript infantry tactics over here, and that'll take 10 turns. So let's get going. Next turn, and we'll see about Denmark, I think. Okay, so a couple of things have happened over turn. First, we do have a new gentleman in Ireland, which is always amazing. He is good at industrial technologies, so we're going to send him, might as well send him over to Oxford. That is the closest university. We have actually been raided in Hamburg because we've forgotten that Mecklenburg was actually allied with Denmark there. So I wonder if I might as well take Mecklenburg actually. It is only a tiny region here, but it does have access to a trade port. They have actually raided our banking house over here, which is a shame, which really has hindered our income actually. Wonder why that has suddenly dipped. That can't be because we've just been raided. That is interesting actually. I wonder why that has dipped so much. Let's see. Nation destroyed. Swiss Confederation. We weren't trading with them. In fact, it's Austria who's taken them. We've got a factory up in England. That will only improve our income. Got 1 unit of trade ship there, but that's about it. I really wonder what's happened to our income now. Nothing dramatic has changed there. Army upkeep is massive, but that's not really changed over that end turn. That is interesting. What about raising nobility taxes? Is that really going to help us out? That helps out a tiny bit, won't it? Certainly will. What about lower orders? Not the greatest, and it does, hack people off a tad. Do have that stack though has walked through the mountains here, and we are going to have to deal with that, unfortunately. No sign of Napoleon, which is interesting. I wonder if he's moved in. We can see this area. That is interesting. I wonder where he's gone. Okay, well, let's try and sabotage this once again. So it's only 45%. Not quite going to make it. Okay, so he's in Toulouse over here. Not a problem. So we're going to have to deal with this pretty much immediately. And we'll send in Michael Stoll to deal with that. So it is, again, nothing too special, but it will threaten our Spanish territories down here if left unchecked, and we can't let that happen, can we? So let's just go straight in. So as we start this battle, we're immediately going to move our cannons over to this minor ridge over here. We should be just about in range when we do move over here. We're going to move our units over here into this forest area so that we can have our cannons fire over them, as well as pushing in, taking the woodland cover, looking hidden as well, so the enemy shouldn't see us when we're there. We can bait them out over here with just a couple units to take that area there. Should be pretty damn decent. We're also going to move a single unit of Swiss line, I think just here for now, and they can get baited by going through here. So hopefully the enemy does move through the central line here, although previously the AI has liked to play defensively, so we can set up as many of these formations as we like, but if they don't go quite our way, it's not great, is it? Just going to take this minor ridgeline down here, and we'll tidy that up as we get closer, of course, because we do want to envelop and take perhaps this area as well to just hem the enemy in, get a surround going as quickly as possible. Use the open area over here for our cavalry, and that should be pretty damn decent. Our battered King's German Legion will sit out in this battle. Are we taking cannon fire already, or is that just the dust? Looks like... how are the enemy doing? They're not unlimbered, so that's just the dust as we move. So let's get into position. So a unit of Chasseur Cheval has been almost completely routed off there. Going to make them retreat a tad as we're under the enemy's cannon fire. We've got our own cannons firing onto this advancing unit of cavalry, and they did wander into our range just a little too much there. Looks like the enemy doesn't want to push in too hard though, which is a massive shame. So we're going to move over to this side. And going to be a little careful about moving in with these units, I think. We'll take this unit to begin with. But it looks like the cavalry there might want to come into the range of our Swiss grenadiers. Yeah, are they just about coming in? Looks like they are. We are hidden though. And now we're going to surprise them to get us a massive volley once again as they are tempted by our advancing troops here. And that is absolutely brilliant. It's still under cannon fire, but we might want to change that. Let's go for this massive units of colonne d'attaque. Massive, beefy, very juicy unit to take over there with our cannons. These units are pretty much idle though, and not at all useful in this position, unfortunately, because the enemy does not want to move. And that is a shame. We can't really tempt them out anyway so far. That cavalry will be coming back. So are we going to be firing onto that colonne d'attaque? Looks like we might be. I have to watch our own cannon fire though. It might just be bouncing into our own men. I think that was the enemy's cannon fire coming in though. And keep an eye on that, because it might just be using a little too much. Don't know what's going on with this cannon here. See, it's not facing the correct way at all there. It's very strange. Might have to limber up and unlimber again. Yeah. Just hitting the ridge, I think, here. So we'll just unlimber quickly and just move over a little bit over here, just so we're on the brow of the hill. So we have our cannons repositioned. We're going to start firing that colonne d'attaque once again, and the enemy formation seems to be rather content for us to just, you know, very, very leisurely go to their flank over here, take this hill line. Perhaps we'll have to move over a tad. It's probably not quite in range, but yeah, they're very happy to be surrounded over here by the looks of things, which suits us very well. Although they are getting some fair damage onto our men over here with their cannons. This is what happens when you do let the enemy get the cannon advantage, of course, but I still stand by the fact that a massive infantry backbone is the key to victory. They can pepper us as much as they want with their cannons. They're not going to get a full rout out of our army. So here we can just take this tree line once again. We might just be in range, but we do take that. And that means we can take this hill a little more fully. Might have to double time that as the enemy is moving in now. And having said that, what we'll do is move up here a little more decisively. Take this hill line in the tree cover once again as well. And we can support over here. And we can leave these 3 units in reserve so they can curl around a little more decisively, uniformly, to hit the enemy's flank a little harder. We are getting some cannibals into the standard fusiliers. It's not a problem, but I would love to get the colonne attack more specifically. Double time this advance now because we're in the last stretch there. Not quite in range of the Black Brunswickers at all, so let's just move up completely. We'll have to double time that. It's like we will be in range. And actually I was hoping that this would be the flanking force, but not a problem. What we can do is just move in a little more once again here. Looks like these units are actually in range now. We'll be firing through the trees, but I think this one works in our favour a little more here. Yeah, getting some good damage there actually. So let's just move around a little more. Yeah, look at the cannons going straight to that massive unit of colonne attack there, and they are completely surrounded, taking a lot of fire. They can see the numbers just dropping down. Absolutely disgusting. We might have to move our general in that area though to support. Now, how's the enemy looking over here? We have taken this hill a little more decisively, so I think what we'll do is take 2 units and take this hill with the shrubs as cover. I'll move 2 units of cavalry onto this flank and 1 through here. So we have options. We might just have to move it a little closer over here because we're getting attacked unfavourably over here. And that colonne attack, after taking very quick losses, has routed off, but we did miss this cavalry charge, but it is uphill and they've come in very loosely, so we should be able to hold our ground here. So it does say that we're winning, and this is in fact their acting general, so as we get rid of this guy, the enemy will be taking a morale penalty. Looks like the colonne attack is decided to come back. It's not a problem. We are shooting into the general over here, which is really going to help us out on that melee engagement, and he is indeed dead. So that will be a lasting morale malice over here. It looks like we're just about in range over here. It looks like we're fine. Just repositioning though. And there we go. Lovely fire by rank, please. You'd love to see it. It's a shame we can't get the more elite platoon firing on some units, like Cannon Empire Total War. Would love to have seen that, but fire by rank is just so satisfying to watch. We're going to get to the final rank go. No, probably need to thin out our ranks there a tad. The enemy is losing there. How are we doing over here? Yeah, we're going to have to just sharpen up over here. Let's double time all of this. Are their cannons exposed? They are a bit actually, aren't they? Let's charge in here. We are going to have to be wary of the enemy infantry, but I think we should be able to retreat out once we make contact with the cannons. Just need to get the men attending those cannons off of their weapons there. Let's redirect our own cannon fire. We can go for, I think, this massive blob as well. As long as they're reactive, our cannons. It's going to be up and downhill, but we are getting the first units over here. Excellent. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, we're taking them off of their cannons. Enemy is squaring over here, but it's okay. We're not making solid contact with that. And we do need to pull out now, I think. With both units, because our morale is wavering there. General's taking a few stray shots, not too much of a bother. Taking a fair amount of losses on this side ourselves, have we? That's probably because we have enemy chasseurs cheval on our flank. They've come back to haunt us. Let's move up over here. Take. Oh, do you see that? So let's take that hill. Move up over here. This unit of French conscripts is finally routing. We got away from that cavalry charge fairly decently, actually. Do also have some cannoneers about, but I don't think they want to pick up their weapons. We'll have to watch out. They are running in that direction. Let's move over here. How are we doing with those chasseurs cheval? Get to double time this, please. That's not quite where I told them to go, but we should at least get a good route there. What we will need to do is just move our general up a tad to help those units out. So we have to double time this push. Double time everything. Can't help but feel these units are being rather wasted in this position. If we reposition back here, we can push up for more support there. We have actually taken a melee engagement there. Did not mean to do that. Let's just reinforce that because it's not really happening properly, and we will be able to win that fight. Let's I think we get a bit close with our general and rally up. Gonna have to get a very quick fire by rank in here to stop these Fusiliers going in for a melee charge themselves. Yeah, they've gone straight for our general. Bit of a mistake there, not to worry. Let's turn back round, get some shots into his back there. And we're a little bit of a pickle here. Yeah, a little bit of a pickle as we're getting surrounded a tad ourselves. The counter surround manoeuvre. Should be fine over here though to deal with that. We move these Black Brunswickers over here. That's going to be quite the thick line there because we're struggling with the terrain, but they will be able to fire onto the colonne d'attack there. We can use our light cavalry to chase these down. Move into the flank over here. And they have actually regained their cannons. So we're going to charge straight on this unit of cavalry. Get these grenadiers up to support the centre. Looks like we're doing okay over here once again. Who are they firing at? Probably our general. Just need to move him then. It's okay. We are still in range of these units. Just a shame they didn't completely shatter previously, but our cannons are firing on them. And they are losing men. This poor guy, stuck in his stirrups. He won't have a face left after that. What we're doing, don't need to square up because we are hitting them in the back there. Let's get our cannons to stop firing because there's a danger of killing our own general there. You never want that, of course. Doesn't take a genius to tell you that. Now we just need to turn around about face, and that will be about it. I think get the rest of our cavalry over here. And that will be a done deal. Fair few losses though. Few too many for my liking. And there we go, fair few losses as we said, 633 on our side. They do have 222 remaining. We'll see how that goes when we press continue here. Yeah, they do remain with one unit over here. Of course, we don't have the movement with this army to deal with that, but it should do with Wellesley over here. And if we just press auto resolve, did lose, what the hell? 856 from one. This is, we're never going to learn the lesson, are we, to never auto resolve through this game. Absolutely disgusting. That should not have been the case. That was one unit. No way did we lose all of that to one battered unit. Game's getting the numbers confused, of course. How are we looking over here then? Because we're going to need to deal with Mecklenburg's army. That's actually not the worst army over there with some chevroned units, but their morale is far worse than ours. We do still want to replenish a tad though. Our cavalry is very low. Going to be very unimpactful if we carry on like that. So we'll just get rid of this Danish stack, I think. Don't mind autoing through that because we're going to go straight back into Copenhagen there. We've got a lot of traits. We have more command when attacking. We have more morale, even more morale, and we have superior general, which will just be more command there, which is great. Let's see. Yeah, more command, excellent stuff. It's what we love to see. Is now a very vested general. Excellent. So yeah, we're going to be at the mercy of the Mecklenburg army over here. That should actually, it's looking like it does have the range to come over here. So we're just going to move behind Copenhagen, then we can cover each other, which we'll likely need to if they do push Denmark. But not to worry too much there. We'll see what they do. We're at their mercy at the moment. Is there anything we can spend our money on to improve our situations? Not necessarily. Do we still need the militia stack over here? We do if we're going to want to tax them quite highly. Okay, let's have a look. That is costing us actually about 1,000 gold. Might not really be worth taxing them, you know. Might not be worth taxing them quite so much at all. So we can get rid of this now because we don't need that stack. Yeah, and that's boosted up from 3.3 thousand to 4.2ish. So that's pretty damn decent there. This shall be reduced the disorder here over time. Still resistant to occupation. And what else could we do really? Not a lot, I don't think. So is he going to come over? It says research. Come on, you got to go.
Can I be of further service?
There's no such thing as too many gentlemen in one school. Interesting. Maybe we can get him to duel. Well, apparently he was not successful, but he didn't actually die there. We can see he's still here. Bit of a shame. Still not entirely sure why I can't enter that school because it's never been the case we got too many people in one university. Don't completely understand that. Not to worry. Let's just carry on. So here's a funny thing. Actually, Bristol over here did get blockaded by a single French ship, but a Prussian navy came to save our day over there, which is absolutely brilliant. So we do have some enemy raids in Hamburg and such once again. Württemberg has been destroyed. Looks like it's been taken over by Austria and Prussia over here, especially. Interesting that they're being so aggressive, and yet the French are still trying to push into Spain over here. Just can't help but think they're taking the wrong decisions here, really. So, what are we doing over here? We do still need to replenish over here. Getting a bit better actually in Madrid, so we're going to move both of our armies into this region. Thank you. And that will take far less time there. So, Leonard McNally, our spy, increase subterfuge for standard infiltration because he has been spying on France for quite some time now. So the Mecklenburg army has moved down here and it has raided our stuff once again. So how are we looking? One more turn of replenishment I think shall do the job. Interesting. Okay, one more turn of that will do the job actually. I don't want to move in too quickly because they will attack us. And I want to do that on full troops there actually. So it's just wasting once again, unfortunately. Can we use our money on anything? We probably want to get the Grand Opera House up here to increase our wealth and happiness in Madrid once again. I still can't research that. It's very strange. Very, very strange indeed. Anything going on mainland over here? Let's get another Grand Opera House up, I think, to help us out there. And at the end of that turn, we got another nation destroyed? No, it's just a Velour mutiny. Not a problem there. Let's come back over to Denmark now, and we can finally start moving against the Mecklenburg army over here. We will have to fight once again to actually take Mecklenburg, of course. Fairly large army. They will be recruiting there over time. How are we looking with the replenishment here? Just a couple more turns, I think. We can start moving into southern France. That would be ideal. In fact, we can start moving over to Pamplona now. That will of course reduce our replenishment, but I think 1 or 2 turns over here we can start taking Bordeaux. Going to go for Bordeaux first because of the supply post over here, which will help our replenishment even further in that region specifically. Do some scouting with Nelson while we're down here. Do still see a navy over here, so we're going to take that down. Have a Danish fleet over here that might decide to attack us over the end turn. Not a problem. Not a problem. Just scout over here once again. That Danish Navy is still here, not to worry too much then. What we can do is actually make sure that ship isn't completely idle. We can get it to pay for itself by sending it to this T for now, because it is going to be a little longer before we go over to Norway, a little longer than we thought. How's our research going? 3 more turns until we get field ambulances, which is excellent of course. The Schleswig school is raided, but we should be able to deal with that fine now. We can repair all that up because we're hoping that the Mecklenburg army will either attack us or stay where it is over the end turn. So, oh, interesting. An alliance broken between ourselves and Prussia. We didn't get a notification of that. New nation arises, the Swiss Confederation. Excellent. Do we spot? Yes. Okay. Oh, it's the Kingdom of Portugal has taken this. That is interesting. You don't see that every day. This is the strangest game of Napoleon I think I've ever played. Why have we lost our alliance with Prussia? Let's see. So, national leaders are not respected. War declared on a friend. That'll be Mecklenburg. That would make sense, but okay, interesting. That does make me worry a tad. Ally with our enemies. Interesting. Yeah, it's still Mecklenburg though. It's interesting there. Very interesting indeed. Okay. I have to watch out for them, because if Prussia declares war on us at the moment, we're going to have a lot of trouble on our hands. A lot of trouble. The Mecklenburg army is now able to be downed, so we're going to go for that. And once again, fairly standard army actually. Complete lack of cannons, only the 1 6-pounder horse artillery. Do have some fairly decent cavalry with some good melee attack and charge bonus, but even chevroned up, their morale is not the greatest. Let's see how that compares to us. Our melee attack's 11 to 11 morale there. So we don't want to go in sustained melee with these light cavalry. Just to make note of that. We've got quite an open map over here. We're going to try and push once again a little ahead of our cannons. Take the little foraging bushes over here, and once again take this tree line with our light units and come up behind them with some standard line infantry. Get an extreme flank going over here to protect against some cavalry incoming. Try and take this tree line actually to hide from them. We'll tidy that up. Try and take that area there. So if they do want to flank us, they shall be surprised. Want to try and avoid this central woodland area so we can come around the flank over here. Enemy does seem to be a tad weaker on their flanks actually, keeping their cavalry out in that sort of direction. So we should be able to approach that fairly easily. Keep our own cavalry quite wide as well actually. Have them hiding in the woodland for now. General can come to this central location. We're not quite in range with our cannons, but we're hoping the enemy does move in. Looks like they're thinking about it. They're going to have to move in a tad themselves, are they? Well, we are moving in actually to help them with that. See how they move though. We might just have to reposition our cannons. So once again, we're not quite able to do exactly as planned. We're having to push right into the enemy's faces here. We are hidden at the moment. Now we're firing out into this cavalry. Going to want to pull back with our light foot for now and let the cavalry run into our firing lines, of course. Should be okay to do so there. Are we going to get some fire out right point blank there? Might just get a tiny bit of friendly fire. Maybe should have squared up just there, but not a bother. They are running away once again. Let's redirect our cannon fire because I believe we're firing on those cavalry there. Let's fire onto these chevaulegers if possible. And what we'll do is we will just perform a very tight column with our light infantry rather. They can fire through this gap here. Having to push up quite aggressively here, let's stop and just pull back a tad here. Take the, I guess I'll pull back here once again as well. This big morale shock over there. What are we doing over here? Can we fire onto this cavalry? We certainly can. Get backed up where we by the British Royal Marines, Fusiliers rather. And I think we're certainly going to square up here. No, a little too early there. I think we have to do a cavalry charge to protect our light infantry though. Protect our general, of course, at the flank, which is a problem. Have another unit in reserve here to plug the gap, and that will be desperately needed because we're slightly outnumbered in this position here. How are we doing over here? Not too bad actually. We can reposition here to get onto the flank, I think, of this unit. And of course watch that cavalry in case it does come back. Move over here to protect our flanks. We are actually firing through this gap here, which is excellent. A little bit worrisome here though. We've got to push up with our general, help arm around, inspire some units there. In fact, we are running away because we are overwhelmed there. Routing off the enemy cavalry here, and they are looking for a melee engagement onto our square and our light infantry once again. So let's push out of here with that light. Completely shattered this unit of cavalry over here. Let's reposition with our own then. And I think, of course, come out of the square. Bit of a messy engagement. Bit of a messy one. We should be able to rally that unit there. Bring them back. And I think inspire this unit. How we're doing over here. We are helping ourselves out quite well. Can we redirect our cannons at all? Yeah, I think we should redirect into this central line here. And just bring round our light infantry, so that we're not getting any friendly fire from our cannons. In fact, what we can do is bring them out over here into the woodland there. We're going to have to, I think, push into... We have some chevaliers coming back, not a problem. Pull back over here. Double time everything, please. And of course, pull up here to reinforce. Because I don't like having these idle units over here. Push right into the woodland, I think, here. We have some more chevaliers coming in, do we? Not a problem. That's where they've ended up. Very difficult to see into the woodlands here. Stop there because they're probably going to come into our firing line. And that absolutely is brilliant. They certainly are. Are they going to try charging? It looks like they are. No, they're charging here. We can afford to do a square because we do have some minor fire coming in there, but a square will save us. Okay, let's push in a little harder then. Cover our backs. Yeah, we're a tad mispositioned here, are we? Looks like the enemy is trying to outmaneuver us here. We're going to need to use our light infantry once again, aren't we? Come up over here to support. Just bring back our general attack in case we do make melee contact there. We get firing our cannons into their central line up here. And we're completely idle over here, which is not good at all. Let's move into the wood line. Enemy does control that. Get our light infantry onto the backs of the enemy. And we'll curl our cavalry round. Give them some waypoints. And get onto their flank completely as well and wreak havoc there. We do have some idle cavalry over here, which would be very much needed. We'll run those in. Maybe get some charges onto the flanks over here. Yeah, just being a little outnumbered. A little bit outnumbered. Come else over here. Don't need to square here anymore, of course. Push up over here to get into range. Finally get our reinforcements in. A little thick on that line there. Forgot going on here. We need to stop here because we're right in the enemy's faces. Once again, very difficult to see into the tree line here. Turn around to face, I think. No, we should be okay because we're firing to the backs over here. That should help us out there. Probably spare one unit of cavalry to just deal with this. They are tired over there. Just so much woodland to look through here. It's not ideal. Struggle in every total war. Just not quite in range of our light infantry here. Got quite the standoff going on here. We're losing a fair bit of King's German over here. We move in with our general tool to boost our morale in this area. We're certainly going to need to. Getting some fair morale shocks into the centre here. Should be dealing with this unit as well. It's crumbling. Yeah, some good crossfire there. Hopefully they do not come back. We might need another shot or two in there. How's our cavalry charge coming along here? It's difficult to tell. Nearly dealt with the enemy there. I think we can pull out of there. Get once again our light infantry over here. Just can't see at all in this tree line. Very difficult to tell what's going on there, but over here we're holding our ground. We are holding our ground. Looks like we're getting some very good shots actually into that position. Our cavalry is finding the enemy's flank. Have the option of getting their general over here actually. I think that might have to be the case to send a massive morale shock throughout the enemy army. Who are we firing us over here? I would like it to be this unit. Yeah, they're forming a square for some strange reason. Going to take some glancing shots as we move in with our cavalry there. But we're going to back them up with this unit. This unit of cavalry has finally made it, so we're going to stop this melee charge happening over here. Chase off this unit properly. It's like we do have some enemy cavalry coming in, but because it's so limp and piecemeal, don't necessarily need to square up there. And we have actually killed their general, so if we get any sort of cavalry charges on now, we should instantly wipe those out. You can see the morale across the Mecklenburg army over here is really wavering very hard. Full frontal charge onto this unit so that we reduce our losses from being shot there. Where's our cavalry? Is over here. Let's get in on the backs over here as well. How are we doing in the centre over here? Looks like they've pushed up. So we need to take this tree line and move forward just a little more. Light infantry can pretty much sit out now, and we're going to try, and no, we don't need to cycle charge. In fact, the centre over here has pretty much collapsed. Just make sure we get on this a little solidly, come back over here, cycle charge into here perhaps, make our morale a little steadier. What are we on top of here? The horse artillery does need to go down. Where did that other unit of cavalry go that was over here? It is chasing off. Let's come back for their general staff, so that can't help anyone out once again. Turn out around. Actually, we'll just pull out with the King's German over here. 118 men is nothing for them. Okay, with this unit, come in here while they're moving. It can't form a square too easily. Just chase this unit off because they do still have quite a few men there. Same over here. So otherwise they will return. What are we doing over here? Did ask them to attack the cannoneers. One of our units has used all its ammunition. That is very interesting. Who is that exactly? Didn't quite see. It's this unit over here. We can pull them out anyway because they're on 116 men. We've taken a lot of losses this battle. Once again, seems to be the order of the day, doesn't it? Okay, I think we're pretty much done chasing these units down. Just these few units here. They are forming squares, so I don't really want to chase with our cavalry too well. Fighting a few units in the flank over here, are we? Okay, are we in range of this unit? Looks like they are firing out. Okay, let's make sure this unit doesn't return. It's just not looking great. This King's German Legion has run out of ammo as well. Let's bring in our central units then, who are well manned and do have their ammo over here. That's a bad sign. They've not used their ammo, they've been pretty useless this battle. Looks like this general staff still doesn't want to disappear. Where did our cavalry over here go? It's just over here. I don't think that unit will return. General staff has escaped. And that should be it. Just this one unit, and it is rousing now, so that should be the end of the battle. What a bloody battle that was. No, that's not quite it. This unit over here. There we go. That is the end of the battle. Bloody hell. What sort of victory do we get? We get a heroic. I wouldn't agree with that myself. Far too many losses on our side. That is going to take some time to heal up. See how that goes though. And yeah, 1,400 losses. I think that's the bloodiest battle to date in this campaign on our side. Very nasty indeed. Bit of mismanagement though, struggling with the Woodlands, but we do almost erase the Mecklenburg army. You know what, it might be worth asking for a peace treaty there. Let's have a look. because that would make Prussia happy as well. We can't go for trade, unfortunately. What about technology? No, of course they don't have any technology. They said no. That's very interesting. Can we pay them off somehow? Give them diamond formation to add insult to injury, give them top gallants. They said no, but they want diamond formation. They want 4,600 of our well-earned gold. I think that's worth it though. So long as they stick to that peace treaty. As long as they stick to it. Not the AI is liking this, how treacherous it is. But that is going to be the end of the video there today, guys. We need to come back to this with a fresh mind. And then we can stomp on Norway, I think, because our replenishment is going quite well here. We need a couple more turns there, I think. Interesting, the replenishment's not quite so good in this region as it is over here. I think this does still count as the same region, so not entirely sure why it's worse in here. But we can certainly deal with that. Thank you very much for watching, though. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And as always, I hope all of your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.